So we're super excited about this new Gongfu set that we have. It's been many years in the making. It's a really amazing treat for tea lovers, beginner and advanced alike. When I started brewing Gongfu tea, it was very difficult to find really good quality Yixing, really good quality cups and the right kind of trays. A lot of them had to be antiques, and then of course you have to deal with the expertise of knowing an authentic versus a fake one. So it's really exciting for tea lovers now that they can get this single gorgeous set that contains everything you need to brew really amazing Gongfu tea. It comes in this really beautiful box with some artwork and the poem from our tradition, which preserves the Gongfu methodology of our tradition. It says, "Preserve the heat, begin to absorb peace with slow, gentle, graceful movements and a heart free from obstructions. Everything is finished in one breath."
This tea set feels really special and meaningful to me because when I open it, I feel the line of energy that it connects me with, and that is of a lineage of tea that is filled with wisdom and objects that have been collected by tea lovers and teachers of our tradition and have been accumulated over many, many generations. And when I open it, it's like it offers me access to all of that love and wisdom. It transports me to a place that I couldn't find through just an ordinary teapot.
This box is the combined effort of a lot of mastery in the design and craftsmanship. My own teacher, Lin Xiang, who's a Gongfu master that's been teaching tea for decades, he always says that there's Yixing and there's no second when it comes to teapots. And that's mirrored in the city of Yixing itself. When you come there, there's a big sign that goes over the road that says there's only one ceramic teapot in the world, and her name is Yixing. Yixing is the father of tea, water is the mother, and they've been married for 500 years. And those of you who had the chance to read our February magazine, which was all about Yixing and my trip there and about Master Zhou, you know that a lot of the clay is now not available because the mines were closed in the late 90s, early 2000s. So a lot of the teapots that you see nowadays are actually made from clay that comes from outside of the Yixing area, which then doesn't have that magic relationship to tea. So the first thing that makes Master Zhou's studio and teaware special is the access to the 40-year-old clay. So this set, all of the Yixing pieces are made from 40-year-old clay that his family has had for many years. The second really important feature of Master Zhou in his studio is that he really honestly 100% loves tea. There's a lot of great potters in Yixing today, but most of them are working with Yixing as more of an art form. So they're creating teapots as art. And so you have great skill and mastery and wisdom and understanding. You have great material access to great 40-year-old clay. And then you also have this true passion and love for tea and a desire to make teapots that aren't just aesthetically pleasing, but also are functionally gorgeous and work really well with tea. So the work that Master Lin and Master Zhou have done together, their experimentation over more than a decade of refining clay processing and creating teaware that produces really excellent cups of tea, makes this set incredibly special and incredibly rare.
The particular people who collected these items are not easily accessible, and the treasures that they have are only available to a certain number of individuals, and they only offer it to those who they really know will value them and who will carry them forward with great love and respect and use them for tea in a very respectful way. And I just feel, it feels like a real gift to open it all together, because I know that it was offered with great reverence and trust in whoever's hands it came to be with. So it's a great connection to our tea tradition.
So as you can see, it's all laid out really gorgeously. And we start with this really beautiful cha chuan, which is a tea boat. Back in the day, tea boats were all made of porcelain, and they were usually antique plates or bowls that people would find and use as their tea boat. One of the great joys of a tea lover is repurposing things that don't have anything to do with tea to tea. And over about 4 decades of looking, because when you find antique porcelain plates or bowls to be your tea boat, you of course can't choose the shape or size or condition. And over about 4 decades of looking, my master, he found this one plate that he said was the perfect shape and size for Gongfu tea. It was a Song Dynasty porcelain plate. And he liked it because it was flat on the bottom and had these really wide lips, so you could grab it very easily and empty it. And he said it was the perfect shape. So we made an exact replica of my teacher's tea boat, only we made it out of Yixing, which is actually a better material. So not only do we have the perfect shape and the perfect material, but also through this we connect to our lineage and honor Master Lin Pingxiang, my teacher. So it's quite beautiful. And then we have this tray for the cups, which actually I designed myself, and Master Zhou and Master Lin were both very proud of the design that I chose. Usually the cups for trays are a little bit more rectangular, but I opened it up like a fan so that, as you can see, the tea boat will fit very nicely together with the tray and look very beautiful together. So there's a nice Asian flair to the fan-shaped tray, and my teacher liked that. He liked that there was an Asian flair of a fan shape for the tray, for the cups. And then we have the beautiful pot. So this is my favorite shape of teapot. This is called an Arhat pot, a Lohan Hu. And this shape was first designed by Chen Mingyuan, which is one of the most famous Yixing potters of all time. He was alive in the late Ming Dynasty. And actually many, many pots throughout time have his name on them, Chen Mingyuan, because in a lot of Asia, China, Japan, Korea, there's a tradition of the unknown craftsman. So these great artists would produce beautiful pieces, but didn't feel the need to put their name or their ego on them. So they would often put the names of previous masters onto their work to pay homage to the lineage that they were a part of. So throughout history, probably no name has been put on more Yixing pots than Chen Mingyuan. Why it's called an Arhat pot is because they say if you cover the handle and the spout, it looks like a person sitting in the lotus posture. It's a person meditating. And an Arhat, of course, is a Buddhist saint. It's an enlightened student of the Buddha. So it's a Buddhist saint pot. You can see it kind of curves in on the bottom. It's a beautiful shape because the spout has a really nice pour that has a shorter range, which makes it really good for beginners to learn from. It's also the perfect shape for almost any kind of tea. Typically we use Yixing pots just for one kind of tea, but if this is your first pot, you can use it for many kinds of tea. There's often a bit of misinformation that you can't do that. You can. You just want to make sure that you take the leaves out right after brewing and never leave the leaves in there, and that you also clean it very thoroughly, maybe once every 5 months or so. It's not the ideal. The ideal is to have one pot for every tea, but you can definitely use it for more than one kind of tea. And then finally we have these beautiful Qing Dynasty cups. They're about 300 years old. The Qing Dynasty is from 1644 to 1911. These are probably from the 1700s. Originally they were wine cups, though they've probably been used for tea for at least 50 years, 100 years, maybe even 150 years they've been used for tea. It's hard to say. as I said, one of the joys of tea lovers is repurposing things that have nothing to do with tea to tea. Over the years, we've found that the antique porcelain has a really powerful and beautiful effect on the tea. There's nothing like antique porcelain. Porcelain is a paste, and it's combined from several natural ingredients, the main one being kaolinite, which is a stone that's found around the world. But it's why it took the Europeans a long time to figure out the recipe. And nowadays, there's many different recipes for making porcelain. I think each potter who uses porcelain, if they produce their own porcelain paste, they'll have their own recipe. But the old ones have something we call a China stone in them, which gives them their translucence, and that's a little bit more rare material nowadays. And because they were also wood-fired in dragon kilns and by masters, they just have a different composition. And then you add to them the age and the patina and the fact that so many people have used these, because these are ordinary cups. These aren't cups that sat in a museum or on a shelf. These are cups that were used by ordinary people for these entire 300 years, day in and day out. So that means in order to survive until now, they've been respected and they've been honored and they've been treated really well. So each of the sets comes with 5 of these beautiful Qing Dynasty cups, which are so rare now and difficult to find. And there are also fakes. These are all 100% authentic. So we can close this beautiful box, just really stunning box. It's great to store your set in. And we can look at, here's our beautiful Gongfu set. It's everything you need to brew really fine Gongfu tea. For those of you who contribute to our new center and getting one of these beautiful sets in your life, we thank you so much. We're incredibly grateful for the contribution. We hope this set brings infinite joy to you and your loved ones, and 1,000 cups of amazing tea, and that hopefully as you use this set throughout your lifetime, it will then be passed on, and these cups, which are 300 years old, will continue and live 1,000 years more, and by that time this pot will be seasoned and old and shiny and glimmer with the energy of many beautiful tea sessions.